Hello, all viewers. Welcome to the 17th Khelo Chess India team battle. So, battle is starting in 16 seconds now. I hope all are tuned in to the channel now, and we are going to start the
10,
games
9,
right away.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So, we have got a game, guys, against Vishal Pabari, who is 2059. Let's see what he plays. Vishal Papari, you have to make your move. I am waiting for your move. Vishal, he is from Kolkata Dragons. Karukan, let's try to play something different here. D5 will be played now. Let's capture the pawn and play bishop b2. Castles, and I have to play e3 first so that this knight b4 is now not available easily. This knight should go to g3. So I'm just planning this maneuver right now, and from this knight controls the critical squares of this h5. And actually, just looking at these two bishops, you can now imagine that I'm going to attack on the queen side. Now bishop g6 is expected. Should I capture the bishop? Let me put knight on e5, attacking the c6, g6, d7, f7. So good, very nicely placed knight. And in case knight exchange, I have to capture back with the pawn. Is that compulsory? Or can I capture with the rook? I think I can capture with the pawn, but then capture with the pawn. Let's see what happens. This knight now will go to d7, and we have this option of capturing the g6, but then c1 is something that I'm concerned about. C1 will be a lot weaker. This bishop knight is now going to go to c5 and then try to come to e4 or something. And bishop can come to g5 to control the c1 square. Right, so how to continue? Let's play knight to h5. I think knight c5 is expected now. Bishop d3. Interesting. Queen takes t3. g6. So let me bring knight back to g3. Yep, that's expected. So queen goes to e3 now. Now the c2 pawn is going to be a weakness in my position. Yep, he started putting the pressure on this pawn now. Let me put bishop on c1. I know this is not a good move right now because c2 is hanging, then b3 will be a problem. But I have to take some chances and create some. I think bishop can go to f8 and then it can go to g7. Yeah. So for this move, I have to play queen to h4. Bishop g7. And now I think let me activate the bishop here. Just trying to attack this rook. Now putting the bishop on f6. So this bishop was doing nothing here actually. The bishop which is on f6. So I tried maneuvering it to c1, then to g5, and then to f6 just to make sure that this bishop is very effective. All the viewers out there, just request if you are able to listen to the commentary and the video is clear, just let me know in the comment section. It helps me a lot. And now the threat will be to just play queen h7 and queen h6 and queen g7. If black allows, of course. I don't understand how black is going to stop this check and mate on g7. Knight e6, right, right. I just missed that. Okay, so knight e6 and now I have to attack the knight. So f4 first. If pawn takes, then I can capture the... No, I can't capture actually knight because of pawn takes. Oh, is that a blunder? F4 is not a good move, guys. F4 is a blunder here. I should have played rook e3. Now both players are, I mean me and the opponent is going to be under time pressure. Pawn takes has been captured and now I have to make my move. That was not a good move, guys. I played very well till now and I just gave away by playing f4. That is something that you shouldn't do when you are in good position. Hmm. Queen d4 and now rook to d1. Queen e3 check. Queen f6. Okay. I... Yeah, I missed it altogether. Queen has to come back now and just hope for survival. How can I survive now in such a difficult position? Pawn push. Pawn push is going to be a dangerous move now. How can I defend this d1 check? Uh, Actually, I can't defend this d1 check. Hmm. This should be winning for me. This outside passer is going to help me to win easily now. I just have to capture both of these pawns and take my pawns to the queening square safely. So Black resigns. Let's go back to the tournament. Check pause for a while. Check the leaders. Gujarat Lions are currently leading now with 11 points, followed by Kolkata Dragons, Khelo Chess India, Chess Blasters, and 7-star online players, followed by CSC. From the personal point of view, or the individual scores, we have Vivek leading from Gujarat Lions, top three from Gujarat, Vivek, Rahul, and Harsh. Swapnil is also playing from 7-star online players, currently on fourth positions. That is me. I have paused the game. Kagua Master is always outstanding. Currently playing from Chess Blasters. He is at the sixth position with 2 points. And then we have beginner player 555. He was recently, I have seen him recently in last few of the battles, but he has been playing very well from Gujarat Lions, Varun Balupur from Gujarat Lions, Social Distancing, Bombay Rocker. These are the top 10 right now. And let's quickly check one of the games which is there now, Kishore King and Nikaru Hakamura. So D4, G6, H4, H5, E3, D5, C4, and C3. So this is kind of a Slav defense with G6 and H5, which is very rare. Knight f3, bishop g7, b3, bishop g4, bishop b2, castles, bishop d3, knight d7, castles e5, d takes e5, knight takes e5, and bishop e2. The reason is that this knight and bishop are now attacking on this knight beautifully. So this bishop has to come back and support the knight. So bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. Oh, so white is sacrificing a pawn here. If white would have played pawn takes, then knight takes would have been possible. So white is just trying to avoid this exchange and he just plays knight to a4. Then we have knight to d3, pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes bishop, knight takes knight, and knight h7. Was there a better move than knight h7? Probably knight e4 was playable. So this move, I'm not sure. This move, I think bishop takes, then queen bishop takes knight, opposite colored bishops. Okay, so white probably is trying to avoid the opposite colored bishops, and hence he's not exchanging of the knights. He is going for a bit more number of pieces on the board. So h4 is hanging now. H4 was one of the few moves that white had played in the opening, and he has paid the price. So h4 is something that very unusual actually. We don't see much of the h4. Just it is just played to surprise your opponent, but sometimes you get surprised in return. So rook c7, f5, f4, and now bishop takes, rook takes. So these are all weaknesses, I think. This pawn on e3, c4, a2, these are all weaknesses which black will easily keep attacking, and eventually white will succumb to this attack. Look at this bishop. It's just doing nothing over there. Rook doubles, rook takes, and king f7. We do have knight e4 check available right now for black. Queen h8 check is available. Yeah, but these three passes, there are three pawns over here for black. So exchanging the queens is in favor of black right now. So white should not try to exchange of the queens because these three will just start rolling quickly. While black also has this beautiful check of knight e4 and probably then have some tactics. So I got a reply from Mayank saying that everything is best, audio and video. Thank you, Mayank, for the feedback. Both players are in time pressure right now. White is thinking a lot how to save this game. Queen a3 probably can be played to save the b2 check. Yeah, the b2 check should have been stopped actually. And there is a threat of queen takes h5. Oh, it's a check and mate. So just going two moves back here, guys. I think queen a3 was the better move, just to stop this queen b2 check, so that queen can guard this square and just try this check, because this is a check and mate if this queen is allowed on second rank. Let's go back to the tournament and check the leaders. Let us join back and try to play a game or two. We have top games. Bombay Rocker is playing against Vivek. So let's watch this game meanwhile. And this is an interesting ending, but White seems to be winning almost. He is under time pressure, but I think this extra pawn and extra piece. Oh, that's a simple queen, and White is winning. Let's go back to the tournament. I am waiting for a game to get assigned right now. We have Kagwa Master and Varun Balupur playing each other. Let's see what's the game. So two rooks versus queen. White is holding an upper hand because of the extra pawns. Check. White has to roll up. Okay, I got a game, guys. I got to go and play my game. So knight f3, knight f6, beginner play 5552019 is the rating. Let me play fianchetto variation. Probably I can go for a Benoni, or let me try playing Grunfeld today. Knight is not there on c3. So not the best variation here. Probably e4 can be played. G3. Okay, interesting. C5. I need to attack the center as much as possible. I cannot allow white to take the center and be happy for his life. So now knight takes c3 and attack the center again, provoking d5. 3. Okay, so white is going for a calmer variation wherein this bishop is just sitting inside. Probably bishop a3 is now the next plan, attacking this c5 pawn, right? So how can I continue now? Let's go for a full-fledged attack. Let's have these two pawns here as the potential passers in the future and try to attack as much as possible now. There is this threat of this exchange as well, so white has to be careful. I think I'm getting a IQP here, if I'm not wrong, an isolated queen pawn, but there would be some attack on the b7 square. I'm okay with this. I have a target right now, this weakness of d4 pawn, and if the endgame comes up, I think I might be a little bit better in this case. So let's try to attack this pawn now as much as possible. Try to get rid of all the pieces, because this is going to be a weakness in the endgame if I'm able to exchange the pieces. Blockade the pawn, supported with the rook, and just try to bring king closer now. I just have to make sure I don't give entry for this rook in the 7. I think d4 pawn is now free, right? Hmm, yeah, check. Okay, if I go to f7, this was expected. White will try to avoid the rook exchange actually. So that's how you play when you get an IQP, that is isolated queen pawn in the opponent's camp. Just try to target that pawn as much as possible, and probably then you can have a better game. Hmm. Okay, there is a threat of rook e8, and then he'll try to give a perpetual. Yeah, let's wait and try to push the pawns on A and B files now. Let's take a chance now. This actually is allowing your opponent to play some tactics. I should not be allowing him, but I just want to put some pressure here. I also have to make sure that I don't get a perpetual check. I need to have an escape square for my king, somewhere to go and hide behind my pawns. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So this rook f8 check, and then I think that would be a draw now. I shouldn't have played the rook there. That has just given chance to white to go for a draw. Hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a draw, guys. I don't think I am finding any plan right now. So let's go for some checks. King e2 and rook g3. And I think that will be a repetition after that. Yeah, yeah. Let's go back to tournament. That's a mistake that you shouldn't do, guys. Don't try to allow your opponent to enter the seventh rank. So that's the current position. Kolkata Dragons on number one, social distancing from Kolkata Dragons is leading with the 8 points. Now let us go and check who is leading from the individual scores. Nikaru Hakamura, as usual, dominating the tournament. Then we have social distancing, chess 5905, Rahul 513827, Kishore King, Rocking Tanmay. Kishore King, I think, has joined recently. I haven't seen him playing in the last few tournaments. So welcome, Kishore King. I think you're playing very good. And then we have Gaurav. Gaurav is a regular player. Rocking Tanmay is a regular player. Swapnil, I think, is a regular player. Kagua Master, we know, we have seen him right from the first tournament. Bombay Rocker is again, is a consistent player. So let's quickly check this game between social distancing and Nikaru Hakamura. So b4 was played, interesting. b4, e5, a3, knight f6, g3, d5, bishop g2, bishop d6, d3, castles, knight f3, c6, castles, e5. Bishop goes to b2, pawn takes, sacrificing a pawn on b4 now. So this b4, okay, e5 pawn was hanging. So b4 cannot be captured. e5 is hanging. Knight e5, bishop takes e5. So black has to play rook e8 and support the pawn. Knight d2, and now knight a6, pawn c3, bishop g4. I really feel sorry for this bishop now. It will take some time for getting him into the game. Queen c2, knight c7, bishop b2, queen d7. I think black would try to play this bishop h3 and get this dragon-like bishop exchanged. c4, d4. Okay, so here c4 is something that again white is trying to provoke bishop takes b4, and if bishop takes b4, then e5 is hanging with attacked by both of these pieces. But I think that would have been okay. So if bishop takes b4, bishop takes e5 is possible, right? So better not to play that. But then bishop takes knight, queen takes knight, bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3, and rook takes e5. I think that would have been possible. There was a good tactic there of capturing the b4 pawn. Okay. Anyways, let's just see what happened in the game. Black played d4, then white played c5. Bishop goes to f8. Knight goes to c4. Bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3. Knight d5. Now the b4 pawn is hanging. This is pawn is really hanging now. So queen b3 supporting the pawn. h5. e4. That is an interesting pawn push. And all the players who are not aware, all the viewers, what this move is called, it is called as n%. So whenever your pawn is on 5th rank and white plays two squares, you can capture the pawn by playing this move. It is called as an n% move. You can google out what is n%. There are a lot of videos which explain the meaning of n%. So white seems to be in a good position, but these knights are very dangerous. The knight on f4 and f6, these can become very critical very soon. So this can go to d5 now. This bishop is bit of in bit of bother. Knight h3 is possible. Okay, black goes for rook e8, trying to put the rook in the open file. Bishop goes to h1. Knight d5. Now Nikaru Hakamura is in time trouble. A very good attack. This is a very nice move actually. This is creating very good chances on the king side. Still there is not a mate because of this bishop defending the g7. So queen e6 now. Can NG6 be played? NG6, FG6, Queen G6 check, King H8, and we have nothing else thereafter. Bishop H6 is now possible. F5, yeah. I think Queen takes Knight was possible. Queen takes Knight, Pawn takes, and Bishop takes F5 was there, I think. Yeah, that was possible. But yeah, this is also a good way to continue. Queen takes F7, Knight E3 check, Knight G5 check. Bishop F5, I think they should be done. Game over. And then Queen G6 check. Yep. So let's go back few moves. I thought there was some chances there with f5 rook takes. Yeah, this place. This place, I think white could have played queen takes h5. Anyways, white won the game by playing rook takes f5, but I think queen takes h5 here was possible. So queen takes h5, g takes h5, and then bishop f5 check, attacking the king and the queen at the same time. So queen takes bishop, and then rook takes queen. That would have left white couple of pawns up. I think that's what actually happened in the variation that white played, but white had to give away his rook. So in this case, he is not giving away the rook. He is getting knight for his bishop and two pawns extra. So that would have been a better variation. But yes, b4 was hanging there after in the end game. That would be something that we can study about. Yeah, but this is what you have to consider when you are analyzing your games and trying to learn something new. You should always try to analyze after your game is done. No matter if you win or lose, you always have to analyze your game. So let's try to play one game now. I've joined back the tournament and the game will be assigned soon. I'll have a sip of water, guys. Just give me a minute, please. All the viewers out there, if you have any questions, just put in the comment section. I will be happy to answer all your questions. Right now, I cannot see any live count from YouTube. There seems to be some problem. So if you are there and watching the game, watching this live broadcast, just put in the comment section that you are watching, your name and your where are you from, and if you have any questions about chess. So I would be happy to answer them all. So right now, I'm just waiting for a game to get assigned, guys. So let's see this game meanwhile until the game is assigned. This game is between Nandini from Gujarat Lions and social distancing from Kolkata Dragons. Let's quickly check what happened in the opening. D4 F5 is called as Dutch defense. Okay, I think my game is on. Let me go back and play the game. E4. Let's try to play French defense today, guys. Let's try something new. You have to learn something new every day. Try different openings. When you're preparing for a big tournament, stick to one opening. But when you're playing online, when you want to learn something new, always try playing different openings and try to enjoy as much as possible. Chess is all about enjoying. If you're not able to enjoy chess, if you're not able to play aggressive, create some magic on the board, then the chess becomes boring for you guys. So just be expressive, try to exploit and try to explore new openings. It pays off really well in difficult situations. So this knight is right now currently this stopping all this bishop, what this bishop is trying to establish. I don't want to exchange my queens too soon now. Is knight takes d4 possible? Yeah, I think that was possible. Knight takes d4. If I put my bishop here, then knight can come on b5. Have to play c6 first. Knight g6. And now if queen is not supporting this bishop, then there is a slight tactic of this bishop takes g6, f takes g6, and queen takes e6 coming on sometime in the future. So I have to make sure that this bishop is supported by my queen or any other piece. Okay, so James Khan is saying hello. Hello, James Khan. How are you? Hope you're doing well, safe at home. So, James, do you play chess? And if you play, then you can join our team battles and enjoy these tournaments with your friends as much as possible. Mayank is saying hi, sir. I'm there. So, Mayank, hi. Nice to hear from you. Hmm. Let's try to attack this bishop. Pawn takes, pawn takes. I think I can hold on to this pawn without much trouble now. F3 is something F3 pawn takes, this king will be a weak king right now. So F3 is something that white should avoid altogether. Now there is this, the challenger is only this dark squared bishop. If I'm able to get rid of that bishop, then I would be able to. Yeah, now the d8 square is vacant for this rook. Previously, bishop was here, so d8 was not possible to play. But now I can play. And now let me attack the a2 pawn once. Yep. So what to play now? Big question. G5 is tempting, but I don't like to play G5 right now. Let us just attack this d4 pawn, which seems to be a weakness. Queen e3, and now let's try to play. No, not queen e7, but c5 is a good move. No, c5, d takes c5. We have rook takes, knight takes, and nothing thereafter. So I have to activate my queen now somehow. Queen e7. Let's try queen e7. Knight d2. Now I think I can play c5 because the rook is hanging now. c3 is expected to support the pawn. Rook d2. Interesting. Yeah, now this pawn exchange is possible. What to play, guys? This is so tough to decide now what to play. Let me just push the pawn. I don't want to exchange it. Let knight come back on c3. I am under time pressure as well, so I have to be quick now. I cannot. Let me just play bishop d4, d5 first. Yeah, that was expected. I do have another plan now. Just to put the king on f7, rook to h8, and now g5 can be played. Idea is now to play g5. Okay, g5, pawn takes. No, it won't be a good move right now. Let me play a5 first. Okay, interesting. We have queen b7. Then bishop here, on push. I think I should have got my rook first on B or A file, and I think I can capture this. Pawn takes, and now rook queen takes pawn first. Queen exchange offered, queen back. Now rook a1 and queen a4 check is now possible, guys. Okay, so hence he plays this move. Let us just put pressure on this b2 pawn. And now I can play e3 move. Yes, this is a right timely sacrifice. Just to get this bishop on a beautiful square and capture this rook. And now bring the rook back. No, not necessary. Let's offer a queen exchange. And now I think I'm winning, guys, if I don't make a blunder as I did in last few games. This is winning now. There is a mate on d1. So let's try to... I cannot improve my king position. So let's go back here. Try to gain some time now. And now king here. Oh, I should not have pushed this pawn, guys. That's a blunder. I just said that I should not make any blunder, and right then I made one. So not at all a good move. I think I should win this one. Yeah, so white resigned. Now let's go back to the game and try to pause and check the current standings. So Kolkata Dragons right now leading on 34 points, followed by Gujarat Lions, then the Chess Blasters, Khelo Chess India on number 4, 7 Star Online, 7 Star Online Players on number 5, and then we have CSC on number 6. So yes, I can see James Khan. So hi James. James, you're asking where are you from? So James, I am from Mumbai, India, and I'm good, thanks. So B6, I can see your move B6, but I think there is some delay in what we play and what you see actually around 15-20 seconds. So B6 is when you type B6 is already those moves are gone. So it's not like live, uh, exactly live. It's 15-30 seconds. There is a lag of 30 seconds between the server and what you see exactly. So 15 seconds from my laptop to the server, YouTube server, and then from 15 seconds from YouTube server to your homes or your mobiles. Okay, let's see game between Kishore King or Parikh Hari Krishna. Okay, let's just check Gavish Chotani and Parikh Hari Krishna. Parikh Hari Krishna is from Gujarat Lions. Gavish Chotani is from Khelo Chess India. And let us just check d4, the knight f6, bishop f4, e6, e3, c5, c3, knight c6, knight f3, pawn takes d5. This is again I am saying, guys, again and again in almost all of this broadcast that we are doing. This is called as Carlsbad pawn structure. You can Google out. There are a lot and lot of theories, strategies, and how to play against the Carlsbad pawn structure, how to play with the Carlsbad pawn structure, what are your strategies, what are your how your placed pieces should be placed, and what you shouldn't do to get a bad position in this Carlsbad pawn structure. So let's go ahead. Bishop d3, bishop d6, knight e5, castles, knight d2, h6, h3, a6, knight f3, knight e4, Queen c2 and f5. So this is something that black has now very well played and established a very good center. Castles g5, bishop h2, and will black go for a full-fledged attack with g4 here? Will black play that? But that won't help right now because the knight can capture the pawn back on g4. So you can see that white's pieces are very well developed, but this black's light squared bishop is what is the problem. So black has invested in pushing these pawns. The time that this bishop is paying for, black has invested here. So these pawns, if they are not successful, then this bishop is going to be a dead piece after some time. So James Khan, I can see a question from you. Yes, James Khan, I can play with you. We can play later on, but I'm busy most of the time, so I try to balance my time as much as possible. So just send me an invite if I am there online on LiChess. We can play a game or two. I'll be happy to play with my viewers. And if you have any questions, if you want to know how to study chess, what to study, where to study, what to use, what applications to use, you can ask your questions in the comment section. I will help you out. Queen a4, attacking the c6 pawn now, and queen takes c6. Oh, rook on f1 is hanging. So probably rook c1, rook fc1, and then, yep. So queen has to now retract back to. Actually, I think this plan was better. Queen to c2, pawn to b3, pawn to c4, and then queen to c3. From c3, queen could have attacked this king very nicely. Okay, so pawn to c5, and now I think c4 is available here. Then knight would be problematic. Oh, queen g6, queen h5 was there. Queen h5 and queen g6 threat was there actually. So instead of queen b3, I'm just keeping the queen back. Queen h5, then it would have been replied by rook f6 probably. And then I think we had h4 move, or then the other rook would have joined on d1. Yeah, that could have been played. Okay, so white played here queen to b3. I am not sure now how. So this d4 pawn is really a problem now. I think queen h5 was better there. Queen h5 was really better there. Rook c8, yeah, supporting the c5 pawn. I think there should be some kind of knight c4, knight b6, or knight c4, knight e3 kind of maneuver now, just to get the tension released in the center. But yeah, immediate knight c4 is not working. Knight, it can work actually because yeah, pawn takes is not available because of queen takes queen. So knight c4 is the correct move. And now knight e3 probably. Oh, knight b6 is available. Yes, I just pointed it out few seconds back and I forgot about it altogether. Now knight is attacking 8, knight is attacking c8. So I think knight should take the a8 rook. Then d5 is available. No, d5 is not available right now. Pawn takes pawn I think can be played now. Yes, and now rook d6 followed by rook to d1. I can see Shubham. Hi. So Shubham is saying hi. Hi Shubham, how are you? Hope you're doing good today. So James Khan, now it's not possible. I'm doing a live broadcast, so and the pairing is being done by LiChess, so we are not able to do the manual pairing right now. H6 is hanging. Rook takes b4. Yeah, I think this is winning for white now. Yep. So black resigned. Let's go back to tournament and last 8 minutes remaining now. Let's try to join back and play a game. So right now, Kolkata Dragons are leading with 51 points and Chess Blasters on 44. Gujarat Lions are trailing today on 33. Huge gap between the first and third position. But if they play well in this last 8 minutes, if they grab about 3 to 4 points, then they can catch the second point. So I am playing from white side and I have got Narendra India from Chess Blasters. So he's a very good player from Chess Blasters. I have seen his game few times. Bishop e6 I think can be played now. Okay. Queen b3, queen b6 is expected. Queen c7, interesting. I think e5 is now expected.